Now going over to question 7. On these questions that involve inequalities, some of them honestly involve plugging the numbers in, and some involve graphing. And we don't always know which are which, so sometimes you have to kind of try one or the other and see how it's panning out. But here, if we lean toward graphing these, we'd be really graphing y equals x plus 7 and y equals negative 2x minus 1, and then shading below, because less than means shade below, and here shading above, because greater than or equal to means shade above. Now, of course, you can put this into Desmos, and it'll tell you where the solution is. That's obvious. And on a real test, maybe that's what you should do. But the reason why we're kind of doing it by hand here is because these are the skills that you need to have the understanding that's going to give you a high score. So maybe not on this question, but you need to understand certain things. So if you have y equals 1x plus 7, the slope is 1, the y-intercept is 7, so go to 7, and you've got a slope that goes up 1 over 1, right? Because if your slope is 1, that's the same as 1 over 1. So you're rising 1 and running 1, rise over run. So the equation of the line would kind of look like this. Less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, those are solid lines, by the way. And we'll be shading below that because it's less than, but let's leave the shading for later. And then here, on the other one, we've got a y-intercept, a b of -1, and an m of -2. So if your slope is -2, that means it's going down 2 over 1. Your rise over run is -2 and 1. So y-intercept of -1, and then you're going down 2 over 1. So in other words, it's a little more steep on its way down. And so those are your two lines. Now let's do some of the shading here. So for the blue line there, that one was the -2x minus 1, and we are shading above that one because that's greater than. So let's shade above it like this. Doesn't have to be perfect, and your picture on your page shouldn't be perfect. It should just give you a good idea of what you're doing. And for the other one, the y equals 1x plus 7, well, it's less than 1x plus 7, so we're shading below. So on that one, let's shade below. We're shading below this line here, and it looks a little bit like that. And here, you can see where you shaded twice. So even if you kind of shaded with a pencil, you can kind of see where you shaded your pencil twice. But the idea is that the solution is in this area here. And which of those points would be in that area? Well, positive 14, 0 would definitely be there. And that's answer choice D here.